Good morning, friends. I'm Allison,
And my name's Rocinda Barnor.
and we are grateful to be with you. Rocinda and I have been friends over 30 years. I can't remember. She will remember how long.
Oh, yeah. 37 years, matter of fact.
37. Oh, my goodness. You're
37.
aging me, darling.
Yes.
So,
We look
as
good.
Rocinda does, if you stand next to her, you are instantly aged.
Oh, you look good too, Allison.
Well, you're kind. Before we were taping this, we were chit-chatting, and we realized the aim of this time together is that
Yes.
friendship is more than skin deep. Friendship is so much more. And so, as friends, we come to you today, and I would like the privilege of interviewing my friend Rocinda. So, Rocinda, with your permission,
Yes.
as an African American woman, did you ever experience racialism or racial issues in your life?
Yes, I did, especially during my childhood. I experienced, it's just like I had a lot of love for my parents. And as a, little kid, you don't understand this until you get adults. And there was things that happened to me that really affect me, Allison.
Mm-hmm.
And even at the age of 5 years old. And if you'd like me to share that with you, what happened?
Yeah, please.
I would appreciate it. Well, my parents always worked for the government. They worked with the first generation called Navajos. And I was born in Brigantine, Utah. And we didn't have like segregation like Texas, what really, some of the schools like Georgia and Alabama, they have the black schools here and the white schools here. But in Utah at that time, they didn't have it. But there was still prejudice. Mm-hmm. And I remember that I was 5 years old. I was, on the sidewalk, making little beautiful flowers and everything. And, with the crayons and everything. And all of a sudden, this man who's elderly, looked like he's about like 60 years old at that time. And he drove by me and I don't know what happened. He must have been watching me. He had a rock.
Oh.
He rolled down the window. He had a rock in his hand. He threw it at me and hit me. And I started crying. But this is what he said. Get off my sidewalk, you blackie. Ooh. And then I ran into my mom and told my dad, of course, they do, they comfort you, but nobody did explain this to me. And so I'm going to go later in my life. There was a time, I guess, I was about, I'm just saying the story of age, remember I was 10 years old, and I got my brother's permission because they honor him in Temple, Texas. It's not like back then in the 60s. During the time Martin Luther King. But my parents decided to keep me in Temple for a whole year, me and my sister. Now, I don't know what my sister experienced, but I just came out sharing this because it's so deep. And the Lord has had me to share what happened to me. But it affected my future, it really did. A little bit, it really did. So what happened was, in 5th grade, my parents, they went back to Utah, they left my grandmother. And they said, you be going to school, elementary school in Temple. I said, okay. And we had a lot of black friends, but I didn't understand why we didn't have the white friends like in Utah, but that was okay. I was a little girl. Also, I was so excited. My teacher, who was Caucasian, and it was a lot of the kids and another black boy. And me and the black boy were sitting in the back, and all the Caucasians sitting in the front. So I went to ask her a question because I was having a problem with English. I was having a problem with fraction. I was just a little girl. I said, can you help me? She says, no, I don't want to help you. Go sit in the back. Then I come back and say, I have a problem. I can't understand it. She said, you're bothering me. Go sit in the back. I couldn't comprehend, but the black boy, his dad was rich, and His dad was rich, and the teacher tutored him, but she didn't tutor me. So what happened was that whole year, she put me in the back, and the white kids, would sit in the front. So that just, I was trying to comprehend it. So what she did, she failed me. She didn't pass. She passed me. She passed my grade. And Alice was so upset that a little girl 10 years old ditched school. I act like I go to school. I didn't go to school. I just wait until my friends get out of school and I walk them home. My grandmother's, how was school? I said, it was fine, Grandma. Because I did that by a week. A week. I never did tell her. Because it affected me so much. And that's why I have problems with my English. Because I miss our English, I miss our fraction. Because of that. So, to make the story short, this what the reality was back then. It was so hard being in Temple. I remember that there was a sweet, loving white lady. I love her so much. She used to give us candy and everything. As a 10-year-old girl, I didn't understand. I'm about 10. I'm just trying to guess the age. And I saw her and said, hey, Grandma, that's my friend. She loves us. She said, don't wave at her. I said, what? So I was getting ready to go over there. No. You stay on this side, and she had to stay on this side. Black people cannot walk on the sidewalk with the black people can't walk on the sidewalk with the Caucasian. I said, why, Grandma? She's awesome. And then she said, well, there's a speaker that's going to come on, and you will understand. I was just 10 years old. I want to play and everything. I have to watch him. He's boring, Grandma. No, one of these they understand. What's Martin Luther King's speech? Oh. Now they understand. And this is the thing I want to share. These are the things that happened in my childhood. The Lord's bringing something back too. When I was in Utah, going back to Utah too, this is a true story. I'm going to tell you, I was in first grade, matter of fact. And I was, just turned 7 years old because of my birthday. This tall boy, and they had I don't think they're junior high, but he was 6th grade. He was tall. I was walking home from school because we didn't have cars. And I was so skinny. I was a skinny girl. And, kind of short. This young man, kid, he came and hit me in the stomach. And I fell over. He said, nigger. That's the first thing. I never heard the word nigger. You know what I mean? Until later. Nigger. And I just cried. So I ran home. I was going to tell my mom. But Mom was really upset. And I said, okay, what's going on? Why are you so upset, Mom? I want to tell about it, but she was crying. That's the day that President Kennedy died. Oh. And she cried so hard. She said, Rocinda, he gave us hope. I don't want to cry. He gave us hope. See, I remember this. He gave us hope for African Americans. Why? During the march, at the end of the march, President Kennedy let all the blacks come and sleep in back of the White House. And then my mom said this, the same man, but I didn't get it with my grandmother. I said, okay. Martin Luther King. I didn't know who Martin Luther King was. I was just 7 years old, I said, Mom said he helped the blacks, he helped the poor whites, he helped the Jews. I didn't even know what Jews was. I said, okay, I was a kid, but I never did tell what happened, you know what I mean? So these are the things that has happened to me and throughout the years. Until, this generation, our generation start changing things. But with my parents' generation.
Right.
So that's happened.
I am so sorry. And I know that your story and the story of so many others has not been told and certainly hasn't been understood. And you're a mother and you have 3 beautiful children. And
thank you.
You know on some level what it was as a mom. Imagine how your mom felt when people were acting out in those evil ways against
her.
you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
mhm.
how was it for you? Have your children ever experienced racism? Let's face it, we're in 2020,
Yeah.
and when you grew up, it was a different world. How
Mhm.
different is it today? Did your children experience racism?
I really number four, my eldest daughter. She is 33, and I didn't know the depth when she expressed that on Facebook. Where we're at is Wiley. It's called Wiley, Texas. And she was attending a, matter of fact, I forgot the church, the Lutheran church, I guess. And I think she was the only black girl in her class. And she experienced not so much whatever, she felt like, okay, like people that understand her hair. Why is her hair kinky? Why, whatever. And at that time, you know what I mean? When you're a little girl, you kind of accept that. You know what I mean? You accept that, okay, they'll accept me. But looking back, she did experience that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I think some was the use of blacks. We just don't know what's in the home. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But she did experience that. Now, when we moved to Wiley, oh yeah, I want to share something with you. My son, you know what I mean? His wife is Caucasian.
Just a minute.
I love her.
Can I just say,
Yes.
you have fine children, amazing children, and you know that, but I want our listeners to know that too.
Yes.
You have
Thank you.
raised some fine babies, Mama. So
Thank you.
carry on. So your
Yes.
son.
Yeah, my son. And he didn't realize what's going on, but here it goes. Here it goes. He was in 5th grade. And my son, you know, is very hyper, you know me. And this teacher just became the teacher. I don't want to mention her name, but she came, was a Christian, was a private school. And Jeremiah's the only black person there.
Mm.
And we start seeing some things, like, for example, we have a couple, the name of Jerry and Debbie Marshall. They watch our kids while we travel. They help with homeschool until I put Jeremiah in school. So when he went to school, she seemed like she always picked on him. She said, he's so hyper. He needs to go on medication and everything. So we went to get him tested. And then he have high IQ. I talked to my medical doctor who knew me, went in college, and said, don't get that boy medicine. Just change the diet. But we noticed it was precious. For example, one day my husband came up there, and all the kids were playing on this side, and he was playing by himself. That hurt. Richard said, why my son's not playing well? He's too hyper. If a kid's too hyper, you don't separate them with the other kids. And you know, Jeremiah's an easygoing. He didn't even realize, but we know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we're traveling, this is when we went overseas, and we're gone for 3 weeks, a long time. Debbie Marshall and Jerry, they're from Washington, you know what I mean? And they didn't understand prejudice that they came here because they don't look on color at all. But they know what's out. Some of the restaurants where they at Blue Ridge at that time, let's go back to that teacher. Sorry, that I shared about Blue Ridge. One time, Debbie came to pick up my son. And he was just little. He said, hi, Auntie Debbie, kiss him. And she looked at him. And she said, and then she just glared at him, glare at her. And then when I went to pick up my son, when he came back from the trip, she said, why does she kiss him? Because she loves him.
Yes.
I don't kiss my son like that. Ooh. I said, she loved him. She said, well, I think she took control. What it was, she wasn't used for a white woman kissing a black little boy.
Yeah.
And then there's times when, because there was no blacks at Blue Ridge, but it was nice. It was experience for them. They brought my kids in a restaurant. This is about, my brother, it was about, 12, 13, 14 years ago. My son was little, I can't remember, 20 years ago. And no black people. A lot of senior citizens, when they walk in a restaurant, everybody, were eating. Can you see me? Because something came. Yeah, everybody was eating and they stopped. It was quiet. It was quiet.
Mm.
There was no noise.
Mm.
And then the waitress came, and she was so sweet. She's a cute kid. These are our kids. Because they call her auntie, uncle.
Yeah.
But the seniors didn't accept that. So things like that affect them. But I think they know because a lot of love and stuff. And then they're going to school, and Wiley's been a blessing. Wiley accept my son. I mean, being there. And it's been great being in Wiley. A long time ago, I heard Wiley was prejudiced, but it's changed now. So some cities change. But yeah, they have experienced some. You know what I mean? They've been quiet about, I don't know about Katrina, but I know with Jeremiah, he went through that.
Well, your kids are fantastic.
Thank you.
How has it been walking through forgiveness when you have had to face ignorance from other people?
Okay. That was, I want to tell you about it. Now, I want to expose being wrong. I wasn't Christian. Okay. Through my experience being temple, I moved to the reservation. Well, first of all, I'm sorry. My parents brought me up a higher grade. You know what I mean? Remember my teacher failed me, the one that made me sit in the back. And so what happened was my mom said, we're going to put you in the grade. She failed you, but we're going to put you in the grade you're supposed to be. Okay. Yeah. So I went it was awesome. I went back to Utah. I had friends. He was awesome. My teacher was a man teacher. They cried because my mom said, we're leaving again. I said, I just have friends. And my grades is doing good. And we start tutoring me my English. And I was I messed up my fractions. She said, we're going to move again. So we came to the Navajo reservation when I was about 11 years old. And that was an experience because there's few blacks. Okay? So I don't know about my sister, but when the Navajos, the first generation, saw me, they go, Jenny, back, boom, lost his bone or whatever. And I hated it. I hated for them calling me that because of being called nigger, being called blackie, and Jenny. And then here I go. I shut down the grade. I did really great in Utah. I shut down half of the grade. I got flunk again. I decided I'm not going to. And my teacher, he's not there. He was Caucasian. I don't know his problem, but he didn't help me out. But he didn't make me sit in the back. It just like he just gets so frustrated because I was getting frustrated. I was so unhappy. So this what happened. I choose that I'm gonna love the reservation. I'm gonna love the Navajo people. I'm gonna be just like them because I know the ways and everything. And I did have Navajo friends, but what happened, Allison? I started hating whites. Not the reservation whites, but I started hating whites. So this was what happened to Rocinda. I got involved called AIM. That's American Indian Movement. When Custer killed all the with a knee, and I think it was my junior year, I was going to march with them, the Navajo, and then all the Indians all over, go to Oklahoma. I was going to march with them. I taught Black history. I was into Black power and everything. But in my heart, there was still that hurt what the whites did to me. And then the Indians became my Indians, started learning the culture, everything. And they're my best friends, like eating and everything. I had a lot, my sisters and brothers, it's still my sister and brother today. But then one day, my mom sat me down. She said this. She said, if you march, this is what she said, if you march with them, you're going to say, and I didn't raise you like that. You're going to hate every white person that come in your path in the future. That was God. And I honor my mom. I get a chills thinking about that. But you know what happened to me? I didn't march. It's a true story.
Thank God.
I didn't march. It was my senior year. And my friends, I started loving everybody. Loving. And my friends are now, some of my friends, why you hang around with them? I said, you need to forgive them. You need to forgive what they've done to you, took your land, just like I had to forgive slave trade. I had to forgive what happened in the 60s. So that's a prime example. It was amazing. Start teaching and fell in love with Dr. Martin Luther King. I said teaching that on the reservation, speech tournaments on the reservation, schools. I started winning contests. Second place, first place. I went to Utah. I went to Arizona. I was second place in Arizona State that won, the speech tournament. I had a 4-year paid tuition to go Oral Roberts University, and then here's my English, a tutor. And then because I've done so good, saying I had a dream, and taught Martin Luther King. That's what gave me a lot of love for all races, because I stand in her gap. He was not a riot. He was right. Freedom for all men. And when I did that, money came into school. And I got saved, and I came to Fountainville. It was all Caucasian.
Wow. So forgiveness was really a key to you moving forward as a person.
Yes.
Right. And I'm very grateful that we have the privilege of friendship today, because it sounds like we wouldn't have had that privilege if you had a choice. You were at a pathway where you could have gone one way to reject all that wasn't same, or and thankfully you didn't go that. So listening to you, what I hear is the voice of a mother is really important in shaping the morals of the children. Really important. And I also hear that in the classroom, so I know that some teachers will be listening. Teachers, don't lose heart, because you can be the difference. You can be the difference in a child of color. I mean, 4 of my grandchildren are of color. And whatever that means, because we just said friendship is more than skin deep. And so in the classroom, in the homes, around the dining table, this is where we start to make a difference. We are a small group. We can grow, but let's make a difference. Let's be the difference. Now, we're going to wrap up today, but we will continue. Rocinda and I will continue the conversation. She happens to be serving her family in Oklahoma. Hence, she's in the garage while the babies are napping. But we will probably talk next time from her rather opulent, beautiful home. Because I'd like to discuss some other things with Rocinda, like the conversation. And if any of you have any questions for Rocinda or Rocinda and I, we welcome them, right, Rocinda?
Yes, definitely.
Great. Definitely. So we're going to wrap up today with gratitude. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. We will come to you. We'll do one of these a week, as long as there's interest and as long as there's there's always going to be something for me and Rocinda to say. But feel free to share this. We won't put a lock on it, because what Rocinda experienced on some levels is not so different from what her kids experienced. It's just a different generation experiencing it.
That's right.
And then she also has stories that we haven't even touched yet, and we won't because of time, but stories of how her kids have been stopped in the street right by their homes. What are they doing here? So these are good kids. These are fantastic kids. And so we need to know, we need to learn. And hopefully we'll learn together. Remember, friendship is more than skin deep.
Amen. It is.
Rocinda, thank you for joining. Thank you for the privilege of letting me speak with you today. And we will chat again.
Yes, and thank you for stepping in our body, skin deep, and let's express how we feel.
Amen.
So we want to God. It's good.
It's more than time, my friend. I love you.